So this is the part where I try not to hit the table too much, and I turn and say, welcome to Plugged In Chatham-Kent, your business podcast. I'm Andrew, work in economic development and communications, and today I have with me, who are you?
Nichole Howson from AIM Social Media Marketing.
Hi, Nichole. How are you?
I'm good.
Good. So I'm going to go through the list of things as to why you're here because, well, I get to do that because I'm the host. So you are apparently an awesome tech geek, loved by WeTech. WeTech Alliance was like, you've got to talk to Nichole. She's brilliant, super exciting, and makes great videos, which you do. Your production value is much higher than here. Although apparently we have the tourism guide sitting over here, so let's turn that sideways there so people can see. Like they actually watched the video, but they might. Who knows?
Who knows?
So you're speaking tonight or yesterday, or however the time travel in this one wants to work. You're speaking at the Women's Leadership Network,
Yes.
which from our perspective is tonight.
Yes.
And you're going to be talking about simplifying your life with technology.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
And we were chatting beforehand about the fact that I've heard everything ever since like the printing press. People have said technology is terrible. I've even heard that was the wheel really needed to be invented? Like it's just been downhill. Mm-hmm. But you're kind of saying the opposite.
Yeah.
A bit.
Yes.
Kind of.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on technology since you love it?
Yeah. So I mean, technology runs my life, so kind of have to love it. My business would not be existent without technology.
The social media would be,
That would be kind of hard.
Well, they had town criers once, right? You could be out there.
I mean, some of the tactics might be the same, but definitely very different.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay.
So, no, I'm a little bit biased, but my relationship with technology is complicated because it runs my life. But I do have a healthy relationship with it at this point.
Runs, but not ruins.
Exactly.
I can make a t-shirt of that.
There we go. We'll just have t-shirts made up. It'll be fantastic. So as much as it runs my life, it is definitely something you can use. And in the last year or so, I've really come up with really strong systems in place that are going to help me utilize technology to simplify my life, which is what we're talking about tonight. Absolutely. Or whenever.
Tonight, tomorrow. Time travel. So one of the things I noticed when I was looking around at things is that you at one point turned off all your notifications on your phone.
I did, yes.
Which is really interesting since your phone guides your life.
Yes.
So how did that work out for you?
So I found that my phone, if I went into a meeting, I would silence my phone or put it on airplane mode or whatever, and then I'd come back out and there'd be hundreds of notifications. And it was just getting to be the point where it was running my life. Every time I tried to do something, my phone would buzz or it would light up. And it got to the point where I would just stick my phone on the other side of the room so I could focus. But then I was missing really important messages. Mm-hmm. And it was just this vicious cycle where I'd go from, I don't want my phone anywhere near me, to now I'm missing important things and getting behind, or missing calls because my notifications didn't come through and remind me that, hey, by the way, you're supposed to be here right now. So it is very essential, especially for my business. And so I had to come up with a solution. And so one of the things was just going through and shutting off all my notifications. And I think I got it originally. So I was reading a book called Eat the Frog. And so it's all about productivity. And so I read that book, and they gave me the idea of shutting off the notifications on your phone. And so I was like, I'll try it, see what happens. And I shut them all off. I still have the little badges, so it shows missed notifications, okay. But it doesn't show up on my home screen anymore. And so now when my phone goes off, I actually pay attention to it because I'm like, oh, that might be important. And so the only things that come through are like Voxer and Slack. So I use those for different my team or groups that I'm a part of that I need to find stuff out about. Or the only other thing that comes out that's social media is my Facebook pages. So because I run client accounts, when somebody messages the page, that's one of the things we do is we answer the messages. So we have to get those notifications so somebody's on there answering. It's kind of my job. So
Facebook pages versus just the Facebook app.
Exactly.
Right? Two different things.
So my Facebook messages I don't get unless I I look at it. And so that's really been cool. My text messages come through because the amount of people that actually text me, most people don't have my number. So, or they have it, but they don't text me. They'll send me a Facebook message. So if I get a text message, it's usually fairly important. And so I'll message those people back. So now you know. And so if you find my number, you can text me and interrupt my day. It's totally fine. But
555.
but yeah, so my text messages in Voxer and Slack and Facebook pages, but for the most part, and then my Google Calendar and that sort of thing comes through to remind me, hey, by the way, you have a call. You should call this person. But everything else doesn't come through anymore. And so now when I walk out of a meeting, the first few days, it was like, something's wrong with my phone. I'm not getting my notification. Like, what's wrong with me? Did I suddenly become way less popular? And then I'd open it and be like, oh my gosh, look at all the missed notifications. But it's been really great because now I'm focusing on what I'm actually doing. I'm being more present in meetings and events and that sort of thing. Because when I pull up my phone, because it's a learned behavior, and I used to do it all the time and look at my phone and now I have notifications. So I still pull it out, but then when I see nothing on the home screen, I'm like, oh, nothing important, and I can put it away. And so I'm not on my phone as much as I was before. I'm able to focus a lot more.
So you're basically training your phone.
Exactly.
Versus the other way around.
Yes, yeah. Instead of just being like, you know what, I'm just not going to look at my phone. I've now trained it so that way when I look at my phone, it's for important things.
Are you finding, because I haven't changed many settings to that level, a few, like just cancel it, right? Yeah. But are you finding there's that granularity you want? What device are you using? Is it Apple?
Apple.
Or Apple? Okay,
yes,
all right. So you're finding that it's giving you that granularity that you want for that sort of thing? And
yeah.
Are there messages you're missing still?
So sometimes I'll get a Facebook message and I was like, oh, I wish I had gotten that earlier. But for the most part, it's stuff that can wait. One of the things I read recently was nobody ever died from not checking their email. And I was like, nobody ever died from not checking their Facebook messages either. So I'm like, as far as I know, I mean, there's probably an instance somewhere. But for the most part, they're not things that need to interrupt my day-to-day. I do have on my computer, I have something called Friends, and it's like a dashboard where you have all your notifications or your messages can come through. And so Slack and Voxer and Facebook messages or LinkedIn messages, and so I use that. Yeah.
Friends,
Franz.
Okay. And
so I use that, and so I'll get my Facebook notifications through there when somebody sends me a message. But I tend to ignore it if it's not important. Or it's somebody I don't want to talk to. But for the most part, things come through, and then I can just keep on focusing on what I do, and I know it's there. And so when I have a second from work, then I can stop and message people back. But,
gotcha.
Yeah.
So one of the things you mentioned was Instagram, because I am finding that the Instagram messaging platform on a phone is terrible for so many reasons, including the fact that they seem to divide it up into primary and then general, and then still the notifications aren't great.
Yeah.
Friends, this sounds really interesting. This is a computer only, or is it something that...
Yeah, it's on the computer, so you can get it on Mac or Windows, and I think there was a few other things that are supported.
Is there one for phone-based? Because this comes in a lot.
No. Yeah, I know. I would love Friends to be on my phone. I think it would make everything so much easier. But no, it's only a computer thing.
All right. I'm asking this of everybody, I think, who comes in here, who knows anything about technology. Have you heard of anything yet in terms of taking all those messages from every platform and putting it into one? At least there's desktop. So Friends. Okay, cool. I will check that out. So what else have you been discovering? What other advice would you have for people about... What are you going to talk about tonight? What else are you going to talk about?
Yeah.
Tell me.
Of course. Yeah. So there's, like I was saying, I have systems now for my business that kind of, it runs my business and it helps me. For the longest time, I was running around doing everything and not getting anything done. And it was exhausting. And so that's one of the things WeTech actually helped me with was getting my systems in place. So my business stopped running me and I was running my business. It was a beautiful thing when it all worked out. So some of the things that I did, so I started using Hubspot. So Hubspot is a CRM and that's really, really handy. But you don't have to get one. It makes it so much easier if you do, but you don't have to do it. So one of the things I do is if somebody wants to talk to me or book a call with me, I don't play the whole, hey, let's book a call. Like, does Monday work for you? And no, Monday doesn't work. Does Tuesday work? By the time you pick a day and a time that works, you spent more time picking a day and time than you actually did on the phone call in the first place. You could have just picked up the phone. So I have it set up now that people just book calls with me, which is really great. But it also meant that I have to start being really active in scheduling things into my calendar. Because otherwise, I get days like last week where I had like 7 calls and I was like, oh, probably should have, when I saw that getting busy, should have blocked off the rest of the day. Because now I have 7 calls back to back and that doesn't give me much time to do anything else. So you have to be really cautious with that. So like, yesterday I had to do my accounting. I hate accounting. It's the least favorite thing to do in my business, but it has to be done. So I blocked off 3 hours. It only took me an hour, but I blocked off 3 hours to give me enough time to procrastinate if I needed to, and block that off. Like today, I had the whole day blocked off because I knew I was going to be driving, and I had something this morning, and then I knew I had this and the event tonight, and so I had the whole day blocked off, so I didn't get any calls scheduled. I block in when I know I have a project that I have to do. So I have a whole day blocked off when I'm scheduling stuff for a client. Or if I know that I have to record video content, for example, I'm recording video tomorrow. So I have the afternoon blocked off so nobody can schedule a call. So that way I'm not going, oh shoot, I meant to, like I need to do this, but now I don't have time. So time blocking is really, really important. It helps.
And I noticed that, look, so I stopped on your website. It says right up front, book a 15-minute free consultation or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's tied into HubSpot, isn't it? Right?
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. So HubSpot, and it's from HubSpot, but it's embedded into my website. So people go to my website and then they can schedule a call. It saves the back and forth for sure. And if somebody does email me, it's totally fine. But I just say, hey, here's the link, book a call. Yeah. Some people don't like it, but I think that's where things are moving at this point, and you have to be open for it. And because of how I work and the way I communicate with my clients, if they can't book a call or they're really not interested in doing it, they're probably not going to be interested in the rest of the systems I use, and it's going to be a problem down the road anyway. But that's kind of how I work now for the most part.
That's a really good one. Yeah, we talk about with people all the time that they have to understand how they're managing their time. Yeah. It's so important. And absolutely. When you're brand new, you're just starting your business, you have all of the free time in the world.
Sure.
But you give it a year and you suddenly go, wow, where did all that free time go? Hopefully, right? That's the goal.
Yeah,
that's
exactly.
the goal of business, right?
Yeah.
And you start to go, I really need to control this. So, yeah, that's a really good one. And HubSpot, from what I understand, free CRM.
Yeah.
We're giving a plug for HubSpot, but WeTech has mentioned many times to hear that it's a great CRM. So I'm glad to hear that it's working well for you. So,
yeah.
What other systems are you putting in place?
So a lot of the things are in HubSpot, but I still use some of them. One of the other things that I love, so HubSpot has a way that you can put tasks in there. Not in love with their system and the way it works, just because that's not how my brain works. But I use Todoist. So it's like a to-do list that you can put, and you have it on your computer, you can have it on your phone. You can access it through the web, wherever. They kind of made that so you can access it really anywhere. So you can put in your tasks, and then you can make them reoccurring. So you can put in every Monday, I need to do this task. You can put in what time you need it done, so it pops up with the time. And then when you create the task, it has the option of 4 different priorities. So that way, when it pulls up your list for the day, it has everything in the right order, so you can just start at the top and work your way down, which is really handy.
That is very handy. Yeah.
So you don't have to go through it. And then it has also, you can put things into projects. So when you're working on a specific project, you can put all the to-do lists in there. So I have a team, I have interns that work for me, and so I have a project for them that I have all the tasks that they can do. So when it comes time for me to say, hey, this week, this is what you're working on, I can just click on that project and it's all written there. So you can keep track of all your lists, which is really cool too. And because it does everything apparently.
But wait, there's more?
Exactly. You can assign assignments to other people. So
very nice.
Yeah. So if you have a team or you're working with other people on a project, you can say, hey, here's your task, and assign it to them so it shows up on their list for whatever day you've scheduled it for.
Wow.
So it's very, very handy. As soon as I started using it, completely transformed how I did my business. If I write something down to remind myself to do it, chances are I'm going to find it 6 months later somewhere in a pile of stuff and go, oh, shoot, that was important.
Oh, yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Meant to do that. So I don't write, like I said, I have a love-hate relationship with my phone, but I don't I don't write anything down on paper anymore. It's all on my phone. And so Todoist is a great way that I can sit down and do that. When you schedule projects, one of the other things that I do is I have a project literally and just says routines. So everything I do on a regular basis goes into there. So when I sit down the week before to look at the next week and see if I need to block any time off or anything like that, I can look through, and anything that doesn't say routines would be a project that might need to be time blocked. And so I can just easily look through the list, so you can look at what tasks you have to do for the day and then for the next 7 days. So you're able to see what's coming up. So really, really handy
That
program.
is really, especially with something like accounting where you don't want to do it, so you make it a low priority, and then you skip it, and then you make it a medium priority.
You can reschedule and be like, I'll do it. Yeah.
Eventually, it's a high priority.
Yeah.
Because it probably is smart enough to go, no, just do this.
Exactly. Yeah. It's only going to take you so long if you just sit down and do it.
Just do it.
Yeah.
I'm so glad that you brought that one up, because I have been transitioning from, go back and forth with paper, but I've been transitioning over to using my phone at like a meeting or just at wherever I'm at to take down notes. And I have another thing you're talking about. I use Google Keep for basically lists and everything else, because I can type myself a note and it's automatically on my computer, or it's anywhere I want to be.
Exactly.
And I can just copy and paste that into whatever I'm doing. And rather than having to retype the notes that I generally would forget at my desk.
Yeah.
So they're not with me. They're inconvenient. I have to retype, like, all this extra work.
Exactly.
Versus just going, done. Okay, on to the next thing.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm so glad you brought that up, because I feel like I have been apologizing for being at meetings where I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm just going to write that down.
Yeah. No, and I still do it too. I'll be like, I always have to like justify and be like, I'm not texting people during our meeting. Just let me make a note of that. And so I just always say, let me make a note of that so I don't forget it, because I do want to make sure that I get that to you. And then I just put it in. And most people are really like, oh yeah, thanks. Not a big deal. Because people don't care. I mean, it gets to the point, if you're constantly looking at your phone and it's clear that you're not doing something related to the meeting.
To the meeting, yes.
Then it becomes a problem. And that's where the relationship with your phone, you have to have a good relationship with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, for the most part, people don't care. A lot of CEOs do that. They do everything right on their phone, or they bring the laptop. They don't write handwritten notes anymore. It's just not a thing.
It really isn't. And I've noticed that as long as I said I'm taking notes and actively look like I'm taking notes, which is usually what I'm doing because I don't need to have my phone out otherwise, it's fine. In fact, it gets that same sort of response from people who, if you're writing handwritten notes, they're like, oh, this is important. They're listening to me, right? Because people love it when you listen to them.
Absolutely.
As I sit here continuing to talk. I'm sorry. I'm going to stop. Okay. Anything else you want to share in terms of that? I mean, you are doing a presentation.
I'm doing a whole presentation on it. So there's tons of different things. Yeah.
So if people weren't at the women's networking event, they should have been.
Yeah.
Because clearly you're brilliant as.
Oh, yeah. You said it, not me.
I said it. WeTech has said it. Lots of people. So, but I'm going to jump over and ask you about TikTok.
Sure. Yeah.
There's no transition. I was desperately trying to find a transition to TikTok. Not going to happen.
There's not. Yeah.
So you use it.
Sure.
I'm still not sure what it does other than make people sort of 15-minute famous. Like what is
15
it?
second.
15-second famous. What does it do? How do you use it? What are you doing with it?
Yeah, so a lot of people do use it for that silly, whether it's dances or just random nonsense. And I mean, for a lot of it, I do too. But there is ways to make connections with that. So I've had a few videos go viral. One of the first ones that went viral was just an inspirational video. And then there was another one. It was just a reaction video, and some girl was doing something with her hair, and I just sat there and I was like, oh my gosh. And I didn't do anything. It took me like 15 seconds to record it, and it went viral. As like last time I checked, it was like 2.5 million views, and I still get people liking and commenting on it. I didn't do anything. I'm not a special person. Like, I don't really understand why it went viral, but it did. And I have 2 going viral right now, which is really, really cool. But I've done other content. So I do some silly stuff. Like the one that's viral right now is just a joke about a Marvel movie or something. I don't even understand. I understand the joke. I'm a Marvel fan, but I don't understand why it went viral. Okay. So that's gone viral. But I do a lot of content too related to business owners, and so that's where hashtags are really important. Okay. So you can look at whatever your target audience is, then you can look at what hashtags they're using, and then use those hashtags in your content to get it found. So I've done videos about like, hey, this is email marketing, this is what to do. Probably do one on simplifying your life with technology.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
right there.
I'll just do one.
On the technology.
Exactly. Yeah. We tied it in somehow.
Perfect. Done.
But so you can create content that's related to your target audience, which is a great way. I've seen some really great people doing it. There's a dentist. He went viral. He actually had to open a second location because of TikTok.
Really?
Yeah. So, I mean, if a dentist can do it and make dentistry fun in some way, and a lot of it is educational videos, and he does some fun random stuff. I'm sure he's done some few dances and everything like that, but it works. And so a lot of it is location based. I just did one recently where I was like, hey, I'm from Windsor, Ontario, and we live right across the Detroit border. Do I have an accent, and which one is it? Is it Canadian or American? Because I say some things where people are like, that's not a Canadian thing. I'm like, who would have known? Like, I grew up in Windsor, and so a lot of it, like, I grew up on American TV, so a lot of the things that I say is from there. And apparently I still say some things. Apparently people say aunt, not aunt. I say aunt. So
okay.
I don't know where that one came from. But so it's getting lots of traction because people in Windsor are saying it's so location based. So if you're, one of the things people said was like, oh, well, I'm just a little, like, I'm a mom and pop shop, and nobody's going to really, there's no point in putting it out there because it's going to go viral and then lots of people are going to see it, but it's not going to help me anyway. But it's location based. So I know St. Clair College came up in my feed and I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. And I looked and nobody I knew was following them, or nobody I was following them. I looked in the comments to see if maybe somebody had engaged with it that I follow, and there was nobody. So it really is just location based, and it was really cool to see that pop up into my feed. Just from that. So it definitely, it's beneficial both ways, whether you're a local brand or whether you're a national brand.
Well, I saw the Toronto Police posted one back. It was in February, where the police officer, and he slides past a cop car.
Yeah.
And they were doing this as awareness for the fact the road had black ice.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that is brilliant. It
Absolutely.
is a perfect 15-second video because it's a police car in frame, and all of a sudden he just comes sliding right through, and I'm like, it's so good. But what? Okay, what else does it do? Like,
Sure.
Tell me more. And so the dentistry is a great one. So that's a
Yeah.
great example of using it. Obviously, I'm going to go look this up because that must have been exciting to have that many new customers ultimately, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. There's so many different examples. There's lawyers, a lot of marketers on there right now, because the way the algorithm is working right now, it's fantastic. You get tons of traction. Like, I have 16 something thousand followers on TikTok, and all I do is just post random stuff, and then a few like, hey, this is what you should do with your email marketing, or this is how you post on social media, like just really basic social media stuff. And I just put that, I usually take an Instagram story that I've done and I just put that right on TikTok, so I can use content. I do that a lot where I'll create content for one thing and then use it across the board. But it's not, you don't have to overthink it. Just have fun with it.
That's awesome. We could probably talk all day about this, but
Yeah.
we've been going for a little while, so I've been chatting for a while. I don't even know how long it's been. But is there anything else you want to shout out? I know your website is aimsmmarketing.com.
Yeah, so 2 M's, AIMSM marketing.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then the same with like your ads.
Yep. Yeah,
so-
everything's the same.
Awesome. I'm going to check out Eat the Frog book.
Yes.
That sounds really good.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else you want to say?
I mean, your relationship with technology, you get to decide how it works out, right? Like, and so as long as you're setting any relationship, if you set some boundaries, it's a good relationship. So set some boundaries with your technology, with your phone or your computer, and then you're all set. So it's definitely a lot of the people that I hear saying that technology it's getting in the way of their productivity is because they're not using it right.
That's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. Yeah, I've been accused of using or seeing everything as a hammer. Like, this wrench is a hammer. This, it's not. It's the tool you're supposed to use it for. So,
Sure,
you know, Adam Savage has a book out called Everything's a Hammer. Like, I also want to read that one.
Yeah.
Because, it's the same idea, right? Use the tool as it's meant to be used. Just because you can use it as something else doesn't mean you should. So
Absolutely.
anyway, thanks for coming in. I
Of
really
course.
appreciate
Yeah.
it.
Thanks for having me.
We're gonna have a lot of fun tonight.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see how many people show up because we have over 150 registered.
Oh my gosh, that makes me so happy.
So it is going to be very busy.
Yeah.
Our capacity is 200. So at 200, if we have to turn people away, I'm so sorry that we had to turn people away.
I'll do it again.
We'll do it again. Exactly. We'll find a bigger space. I don't know. We cleared 150 last time, so hopefully we're on par for this one.
Awesome.
And, but it's also the weather was a little nicer. Not bad today, but
Yeah.
it's still March. So.
Sure. Yeah.
But okay. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
That's it. So thanks for watching, Chatham. And I just banged this. I'm so sorry. Bye.